Hey guys, today I was taking my seats and my carpets out of my Grand Wagoneer. I noticed all this rust down here. So there's a lot under this middle carpet, and the front carpet had some up here around the aftermarket computer and all that. So the other side also has a lot of rust. So today we're going to be situating that out and hopefully solving the issue of that. Alright, so I just vacuumed up all the loose rust, all the metal pieces that had fallen off. So we're going to use a drill with a wire brush attachment and just see how well this works. So it looks like it's working pretty decently. So we're gonna get the rest of this fixed real quick. So I was just now able to get the carpet completely off this side. There was the seatbelt anchor right here, so the bolt would not come out easily, and you ended up having to drill out some welds from this piece underneath, and it just wasn't very easy. So, because you have to get that out to get the carpet out. So now that that's out, we can access this entire area back here and take care of all this rust. Now that our carpet is completely out, we're able to start vacuuming this side, all these leaves and all this loose rust, so we can start sanding this stuff down so we can get repaired on this side. now it's all cleaned up for the most part, we can start using this and grinding on this stuff. Alright, now we're going to be filling in these holes right here that you can see were caused from excessive rust and all that. So you can see that there's only a couple holes, and I already got this one filled in right here. It doesn't look too good, but it works, and it's going to be covered up anyway. So now we're going to be filling these in. I put some painter's tape underneath so that the JB Weld doesn't fall through to the ground. It works. It's not the proper way, but it's just what I have. So we're going to be using this JB Weld right here and filling it in. So let's get to it. I also forgot to mention I cleaned the surface with some like degreaser first. So just to give it a little cleaner surface to bond to. We'll see if it works or not. Let's get to it. Alright, so I'm going to mix up some of this JB Weld. It's an equal part of the steel and of the hardener. Alright, I'm going to stop messing with it now. Well, I got it pretty evenly spread for the most part. I know it's not probably the right way to do it, but if it works, it works. That's all I can say. So next we're going to get those two little holes. You can see those holes underneath. These two holes right here, cover them over. Then after that, we'll get this one, the small one, and then this really small one. All right, so we just got those holes covered over. So we're gonna let it dry for a little bit, see how it works. Forgot to turn the camera on for this one, but I just got it all cleaned up and filled in. So now we're gonna move over to this big one, this big holes and cracks, all of that. So I'm thinking about putting some like sheet metal underneath, just in this area, just to give it a little extra strength, because this is gonna be in between the seat. So I think there's gonna be a decent amount of weight. It's pretty weak right now, so, but let's get to that one. All right, so I'm thinking about putting some metal on top of this instead of underneath. So I sketched up this piece right here. So I'm gonna cut these out to go around the holes for the seat. And then JB Weld this piece of metal in. This one's special, so it gets the fancy wax and grease remover and the lint-free towels. And now that's all clean, I'm gonna use some of our JB Weld and put some on. Alright, so we just load this up with JB Weld and we're gonna let it dry. Probably gonna put this one a little heavy, just put on top for these corners that aren't sitting perfectly flush. But yeah, so this looks like it's gonna work pretty well. Toolboxes have multiple uses. Weight is one of them. So we got a 50-pound bag of sand as well. So this will hopefully be pretty tight once we're finished. Once it finishes drying. So we'll update you once it's done. So I'm putting a little more of this stuff all over wherever there was a big spot of rust, just to protect it a little more. We're gonna cover it up with some other stuff, but this is just gonna be a little extra protection. Well, while this extremely cinematic footage plays behind me in the background, I'm going to talk to you about the cost of this job and if I think it was worth it. So I spent about 20 bucks on the JB Weld, which was for the 10-ounce container, which I think is a great price. I used like I guess 2/3, maybe half of the container. So technically you could say that's 10 bucks, I guess. And then the metal, which I used on the other side, that was just a scrap piece of metal, so that was basically free. So for just the coating of all this, I mean, you could say it was 10 bucks, 20 bucks with all the parts. So I think this is a great, fix. It doesn't permanently fix anything, but it does do the job if you're just trying to fill a couple holes. In my next video, I'm going to be coating all this with Rust-Oleum, their rust preventative primer, and some enamel over that, just to prevent this from spreading anymore. And I spent about 40 bucks on that in total, and you can see the results of that in my next video. It looks like this worked pretty well, and it did what it was supposed to do. Seems pretty strong. Under here, this is the underside. I mean, it filled the holes pretty decently. It's not perfect, but... And this over here is where we put a whole bunch of that JB Weld, and it seemed to work. It seemed to have worked pretty well. It seems pretty strong. And make sure to watch the next video where we complete this process with the Rust-Oleum Preventative Primer and the enamel. Thanks for watching.